Hey everyone, welcome back. One of the coaches at Unga Academy here, and this is the chat that we usually have during the weekends about the market trends. Before we start, I invite you to, as always, subscribe to our channel if you haven't already done so, and please leave us a like to this video. Hi, we are the Unga Academy, and we teach traders how to make money in the markets. Our founder, Andrea Unga, had been struggling with trading for years until he developed his automated trading method, which he used to become the only 4-time world trading champion. Subscribe to our channel for free tips and tricks. Well, it has undoubtedly been an eventful week on the markets. I'm referring to, in particular, the stock indexes, which, following the Fed's decision to raise rates by 50 basis points, first rose at the close of the market, and then in the last 2 days have made two quite important red bars. Well, we've crossed the lows, particularly on the Nasdaq, which were recently reached, so this is definitely not a good signal. And I'll point out that short-term volatility is in the 100th percentile on both the Nasdaq and the mini S&P 500. The mini S&P hasn't crossed the lows yet, but let's see how it will close the day. However, the situation is quite worrisome. Volatility, as I said, is increasing. We can see a bad trend in bonds that have continued in this trend for several months now. In particular, let's take a look at the T-bond, which has again dropped this week by 2.3%. In addition, the Bund has had a decidedly bearish trend, and this is obviously linked to fears of further interest rate increases. On the other hand, the energy market, as usual, is showing more signs of momentum. In particular, natural gas also went up this week quite a lot, despite there being a discrete red bar today. At 16% compared to 5 days ago. More contained are the increases in the other energy futures. Metals continues to show weakness as well. You can see the 3-month yields are pretty much all negative, apart from gold. As for meat, we have a plus 4% this week for feeder cattle. On the soft commodities side, cotton continues to be at all-time highs. It broke the recent highs during the week. As far as the other soft commodities are concerned, we do see negative returns everywhere. Orange juice has stopped its strong uptrend and lost 2% this week. Coffee fell 4.8%, so the only market still showing signs of upturns in soft commodities was cotton. As for grains, well, wheat continued to climb this week. We know this is due to the conflict between Russia and Ukraine, but even in this sector, aside from wheat, all other grains were negative. On the other hand, as far as currencies are concerned, we saw a halt in the descent of the euro-dollar. This week has been consolidating around this value, slightly higher than last week, but in general, it was still the US dollar to show signs of strength. As for cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin also fell by 6%. We're approaching the lower part of the trading range, and it's getting dangerously close to this lower part of the trading range, which has always worked as support so far. The situation for the cryptocurrency market isn't looking good. Let's see if it'll be able to bounce back as it has done so far in the next few days. Turning now to the analysis of the volatility term structure, we can see that volatility has been increasing for several weeks now. Because if we're looking at the lows, we're talking about early April. So volatility has been going up for a month now. There are no signs of absolute panic in the markets yet, but we do see the term structure is now in complete backwardation, and the VIX is currently quoted at 32. So it's definitely not a good scenario. We're close to the recent historical highs, although we are still far from the levels reached during the COVID period. And for this reason, I say that we aren't in a total panic yet. But the situation is worrying, so I recommend some caution in the markets. We've only got a single rollover for next week, namely the VIX future on May 11th. Well, everyone, please remember that if you are interested in systematic trading, you have the opportunity through the link in the description below to view a free presentation by Andrea Unga that will introduce you to his method, which he managed to win the World Championship of Trading with real money 4 times. Not only that, but you'll also be able to get the bestseller, the Unga method, covering only the shipping costs and much more. So please go check it out. It's definitely worth it. Well, we look forward to seeing you next week. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and leave a like if you like the video. Goodbye, everyone, and have a great weekend. Bye-bye.